Pasares. And welcome back to Jeff Koinange live at the Intercontinental Hotel. What a guest we have tonight. We feel so bad for my good friend Dr. PLO Lumumba, who couldn't make it tonight as part of the best political tag team on TV. But PLO, rest assured, your man, Barrack M. That's his Twitter handle, at Barrack M. Barrack Muluka, the man from Emanuelia, is holding court. And he's calling it like he sees it. Because Wednesdays is all about the state of the nation. On this day, state of corruption, state of the budget. It's budget day Thursday. State of Tobacco. Oh my. What my. Tweets coming in, Jeff. Fast and furious, the man says. That is correct. I'll be reading them shortly. Barrack. Budget day Thursday. 2 trillion shillings.
And the climb has been truly astronomical. That about 3 years ago, we were under 1 trillion. Within the space of just about 3 years, we are talking about 3 trillion. And I mean 2 trillion. 2 trillion in a context where we don't know where the money is going. That we saw the diaries of graft, which KTN did a very sterling job upon. That we saw that one individual in a day could occasion funds running into hundreds of millions of Kenya shillings to be withdrawn. He starts the process, he approves the process, he draws the funds, and he circumnavigates the process, the proper laid out procedures, and he is able to circumnavigate the central bank and uses the National Bank of Kenya to draw out that money, and we don't know where it goes. That some characters are supposed to have built a petrol station in State House. I'm sure that the occupants of State House are aware of the Auditor General's report on this supposed would have been petrol station in State House. They are aware that no such petrol station exists.
And the money
disappeared. They must be aware also that the money disappeared, and they must be able to trail the individuals behind it, and nothing is happening. That we had the question of Eastgate, where again hundreds of millions of shillings went. Now, you see, when you have this kind of scenario, you have got to start getting worried. And it's happening in, on a canvas where the shilling is deteriorating very steadily. It is happening on a canvas where the rates of inflation are mounting drastically. It's happening on a canvas where the traditional money makers for the economy in the doldrums. You look at tourism, you look at agriculture, and you see that the 2 trillion is going to come out of taxation. But the brackets of poverty are also expanding expeditiously. And therefore, you are actually talking about taxing poverty. I think it is a worrying thing. Taxation is a good thing. I think people should pay taxes. Every good citizen should pay tax.
Yeah, but many don't. Many don't, Barrack. Let's face it.
The good book has said everybody should pay tax.
Give to Caesar what is Caesar's.
What is Caesar's? So we should all pay tax.
Yeah.
And this budget could become even 3 trillion.
Goodness.
And I think it should become.
Did you ever think the shilling would almost hit 100 to the dollar, Barrack? You
know, we usually talk about something we call the pound. Although increasingly we don't talk about it anymore. I think we are more or less given up. That at independence we had something that we called the pound. And when you look at some African currencies, the Kenya shilling was quite close to the British pound at that time. Then for a very long time, the pound was 20 bob. And today, the pound is almost at 200 Kenya shillings. That if you look at a country like Zambia, at independence, the Zambian kwacha was stronger than the British pound sterling. That today you need several thousands of Zambian kwacha to buy one British pound sterling.
Yeah.
We must be honest and interrogate ourselves. You see, Jeff, when we say these things, it's not because we don't like the people who govern. In fact, we love them very much. I personally have no issues with any of these individuals. They are good people as persons whom we love.
Yeah.
But we also want the world to respect us, because we can govern ourselves, we can take care of ourselves, take charge of things. We are talking on the backdrop of Madaraka, 52 years after attainment of self-internal government.
Yeah.
We must be honest with ourselves and ask ourselves whether self-internal government is about ever-expanding slums and ever-expanding sewers, whether it's about blocked drainage, whether it is about expanded brackets of poverty, whether it's about roads that have become horse tracks. We must be honest with ourselves and say we have done badly, and then start asking ourselves what we could do about it.
Yeah.
It's not a question of one being kind of negative and refusing to see anything good, because I can tell you, Jeff, and I can tell the viewers there and the people who govern this country, that I now correctly and rightfully belong to the institutional memory of this country. And I can tell you about this city of Nairobi, that in the 1970s it was functional.
Yeah.
That you waited for a bus on Duke Street, which is now Ronald Ngala Street, outside Tusker House.
Yes.
And you knew the bus was going to be here within the next 5 minutes, and indeed it was there.
It arrived on time.
On time from Wangige, and you could see there the indicators that the bus is 3 minutes away, and it got there, and you boarded and you went to Jericho, where I lived and grew up. And that Jericho was a functional estate. It was not the slum that it has been made. That in the neighborhood you had Kimathi, you had Harambe. You know, my mother, who lives today in the village in Emmanuel, came here someday, and as we were traversing through Harambe to go to Jericho, where she used to live, she said, "Oh, we have already gotten to Majengo." And we were in Kimathi estate. And I said to her, no, this is Kimathi. And she said, "Wow, Kimathi? This is the Kimathi that I used to know." And you see, if you don't belong to that institutional memory, you imagine that the things we are seeing here are normal and that this is the way the world should be. No.
Yeah.
We have seen this country deteriorate very steadily.
Can we turn that
we must talk about it.
Can we turn the corner, Barrack? Can we change that? Because in the first part of the show, we're talking about how corruption is so ingrained in our DNA. Will we ever come out of it to think that what we're doing now is not for us, but it's for our children and their children after that? Can we think in that way?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And I'm saying that not because I'm Barack Obama.
Yes, we
but
can.
I know that yes, we can. It takes the willpower of one individual to turn around a society such as ours. And that individual is the ultimate resident in the big house on the hill.
Yeah.
That if President Uhuru Kenyatta decides today that he wants to encrypt his name in the annals of greatness forever, we can turn this thing round. That is not enough for him to lament when he goes to a function and his cabinet secretaries don't turn up.
Yeah.
It's not enough for him to lament that they are not here, that if this were about deal making, they would be here.
Yeah.
He should be president. He should show them the door. And I've said before, and I say it again, if it's a question of somebody trying to hold the presidency hostage, saying things like, we have got the numbers, and that we have lent you our numbers to get you where you are, and if you do not do what we want to do, we shall take away the numbers, we shall pull the rug from under your feet. No. The citizens of this country, much as they are also caught up in the contradiction of corruption, they are tired. They're tired. In the day somebody genuinely fights corruption, President Kenyatta will not need tribal votes. He will not need somebody to tell him that we lawyers have got so many votes, which we will host trade with you, that we Luos have so many votes, which we shall host trade with you. They will give you the votes in your own right.
En masse.
En masse and on merit, because you have decided to turn around the history of this country.
Speaking of lawyers, Barrack, Eugene Wamalwa is back in the fold. He's just been given the green light by the parliament. He's coming back, Minister for Cabinet Secretary for Water and Irrigation. What do the lawyers think?
I don't know what they think. Initially, I saw that a bit of that was greeted with cynicism. I didn't know whether it was not a case of sour grapes. You know, when the grapes are a little too high for one's reach, they become sour. I saw somebody who was trying to belittle that appointment, which I think was wrong. If Wamalwa has gotten a place in cabinet, and you want to look at things from a tribal platform, then accept that one of you is there. Because you cannot be saying from one end of the mouth that we have been excluded, and through the other end of the same mouth, you are belittling that effort. That said and done, we are told that this is an opportunity for Wamalwa to disengage from
2017.
from active politics. We will wait and see what happens.
You skipped right past that one, Barrack. I don't know why. I don't know why.
You see, he has just arrived.
Yes.
Let us
let him
watch.
Let him get comfortable.
There are lots of things happening in Luyaland.
Yes.
And they are looking for you to see if you could also run. Become one of the governors.
In Emanuelia?
Yes, in Emanuelia.
Will the people of Emanuelia vote?
Yeah, we will vote for you. But you have seen that Ken Marende, who is chair of KPLC, seemed to have been launching a political party. I don't know how he's going to manage the two sets of marbles. The ones of being a non-political public servant, and the other one of being a politician who seems to be launching a party with my brother CJ.
Yes.
Then we have got Wamalwa here. We don't know to what extent he's going to take a tax holiday from politics. There are other political maestros from Luyaland. Muskari, Kombo, we have seen he's gotten something.
He's got a post.
Rafael Wanjala has got something. Joash Wamangoli, they've gotten something.
But on the other side, there's still a guy called Weta.
Yes, Weta is also doing his thing with Baba. Again, that is an outfit to be watched and see whether it will hold. Everybody seems to be keen to run. Baba wants to have his final, one more. Let's not say final, because I think that is to try to preclude him from other things. And talking about Baba, I don't agree with this thing about pension, the way it has panned out. First, I think it is wrong to try and push him out of politics, that you want to use a pension as some kind of carrot to get him out. But at the same time, I also think it is wrong for him to be asking for pension when he is active. The real thing that we need to be talking about is gratuity. That someone has served, and that having served and still having the capacity to continue serving, let us appreciate the season when he was there, and let's give him some gratuity which is commensurate with the term and with the service. That
but Baba insists he was part of Nusu Mkate, and if Kibaki is getting pension, Baba wants pension.
Pension is terminal, and terminal is just that. It is terminal. Once, we talk about things like terminal ailments.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
when you've got a terminal ailment,
Yes.
we are saying that you are staring at the end in sight. The end is in sight. You are staring at the end in the eye. So you cannot talk about getting terminal benefits and then continue to be an active runner and a player. But you can ask for your gratuity and say that I have served. And we know that in the good old days, before things got pushed into the kind of corner and lurch in which they operate from today, people, and especially women in this country, used to receive gratuity every so often. And the following day, they would still report to work in the same place.
But Barrack, I think you should work for this government. You come up with all these...
I'm working for it even now. When I'm here, I'm giving them free advice, which they should be paying for
Gratuity.
quite handsomely.
Let's take a break, come back and talk some more. The man from Emanuelia is waxing lyrical. I tell you, this is the state of the nation. And this, of course, is Jeff Koinange live at the Intercontinental Hotel. We'll take another break, come back. Your tweets coming in thick and fast, fast and furious. We'll be reading those after this break. JKL takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.